Good morning. I look absolutely crazy. We're not going to talk about that. It's been a week. Okay. I'm going outside right now to pack some orders. I have a wholesale order and then I have a few like direct to customers. So we're going to go do that right now. I also got to grab my kids in like 2 hours. I definitely have not been on task this morning. That's all right. But I will say I spent last night not focused and I redid my dining room area. And I cleaned my whole kitchen top to bottom. So I'm winning. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I'm winning. So let's go ahead and get out to the studio. Okay. And this is what I mean when I say that my day just consists of me walking back and forth from my house to my studio. This is the studio. Let's go ahead and go inside. I'm packing orders. I already started packing, but I forgot to grab the confetti. So I just went inside and grabbed this. And then I forgot my charger. And then I forgot my little thing for the bottom of my camera. So yeah, I had to go back inside like several times. All right, cool. All right, so it's still a mess in here. I'm getting it together, don't worry. That's gonna be one of the days that we vlog. We're gonna come in here and just completely clean house. But I keep getting orders in between, which is like obviously a great problem to have. So obviously the orders take precedence over like getting my studio together. I think this is a great day to maybe do a video on how I pack my orders. I already have one on my page. It's like my main video when you get onto my page. But I think it's time for an updated video outlining exactly what I do to pack up a beautiful order. One of the feedbacks that I get from my customers is like, everybody loves my packaging. Everybody loves getting an order from me. I think it also is something that maybe motivates a second purchase from my audience. So I'm just gonna show you exactly what I do. If you saw yesterday's vlog, Vlogmas Day 2, if you saw that, you also saw that I went over all of my packaging. I got new holiday packaging in, and so I shared that with you in that video. If you haven't already, go back to that video, watch all of that, because I'm not gonna explain it in this one. I'm just gonna show you what I'm doing, and then come back to this one. So with every single order, obviously I pull the order, make sure I have all of the pieces together. With every single order, I make sure and write a handwritten note, something to note. So I have these inserts. They're basically a card that says, you know, thank you for shopping small. It's a little note from me. It literally says XOXO Nat on there. So it is note from me. It's obviously something that everybody is getting. So on their receipt, I always just go ahead in any open space and I just write a nice handwritten note. It doesn't have to be anything too long. It can literally be, you know, the same thing. I try not to write the same exact thing every single time because sometimes I have repeat customers and I may not notice that they're a repeat customer. So if I notice their name, I'll be like, oh my God, so good to see your name again. Thank you so much for your continued support. You know, this one, I've never seen her name before, and I don't think I've had too many Boise, Idaho orders, so I think she's brand new. So I'm just saying thank you so much for your order. I truly appreciate your support. I hope you love the goodies. And then I always sign XOXO Nat. And then, so that goes in there with my note. And then this is going to get packaged up. So I always add confetti. This is holiday confetti. So it's red, white, and green. And I don't really love this one just because it's a lot of like foil pieces. My packaging, I try and make it a little bit more on the eco-friendly side since sometimes I have to use cellophane. So I really don't like the foil pieces, but that's how it came in and it kind of is what it is type situation. So I also had these little double-sided bookmarks made. I'm going to include that. That's her free gift. And then everything gets wrapped in this paper. Now, I had custom circles, but it ended up being where I ran out of them and I have not been back to Staples to print or Office Depot to print. So that's kind of on my to-do list. I don't know, maybe today or tomorrow. I already have the template, which is great. So all I have to do is just like take it there and print it. I forgot to put my labels on this. So all of this is going to get wrapped up. I think I might need 2 sheets. Oh, actually made it. I have this just generic one, so I'll have to use that for today, unfortunately. But it'll still look cute. It'll still be put together and it'll still look cute. I'm just a little bit of a snob because, I don't know, I like having something that no one else has. And I think it just pulls the package together nicely. It's something that I have drawn because it shows that I took the time and effort, you know, to make sure you have something beautiful. Oh my gosh, why did I do that? We almost didn't make it. All right. So now they get this beautiful little package. See how pretty? It's gonna go on a mailer. And I have different size mailers for different items. I've narrowed it down pretty much to 2 different sizes. I'll link everything down below. I think I already did the smaller mailer yesterday, but I will link everything down below beneath this video. And honestly, most of my stuff now I get from Amazon. The reason for that is I have in the past purchased huge quantities of things before. Like for instance, I have a huge box of mailers down here. They're all white. That was before like I knew what I was doing with packaging. So I had to find a way to use those. But you know, I just hate things sitting around, you know, and it takes up so much space. My aesthetic has changed since then. And so now it's just kind of one of those things where it's just sitting there, just collecting dust. Okay, so that's my first package. So let me just show you really quick the different size mailers that I have, because I think that's important. As I said in the beginning of the video, it all depends on what you sell. I am a greeting card company. I'm a stationery company. I sell things that are very small. And so most of the time I can get away with a mailer. If I have wholesale, that's a different story. A wholesale order is going to be a different approach. Direct to customer, I have a few sizes. So I have this regular envelope. The envelope is, do I have a blank one? I would like to show you up close. Okay, I do have one over there. Here we go. Okay, so I bought these pretty purple and gold envelopes. Again, I got it on Amazon. So this type of situation would be if I have an Etsy order. Usually on Etsy, people will buy like 1 or 2 cards from me. So Etsy, there's the option of sending it first class mail. That's why these labels look a little bit different. There is the option of sending it first class mail, which is basically a digital stamp. So it's only 74 cents to send this 1 card. If you send 2 cards, it goes up a little bit, but it's very cheap and you still get the tracking, which is great. Etsy worked out something with USPS. I wish other shipping companies or third-party companies or whatever would figure that out, because like a lot of the times I could send something first class mail and it would not be an issue. Sometimes people will buy like 1 sticker from me. I would love to not have to charge them $4.50 to get it to themselves, you know? So this is for my Etsy orders. Any Etsy order that is under like 2 ounces gets one of these because the shipping is just like significantly cheaper. And then Etsy, you know, they kind of force you to do the free shipping thing. So like I just take that one to the chin because it's less than $1. Then I have bubble mailers. So one of the things that like I was really trying to do was like use less plastic in my packaging and things like that. But like, because I sell paper products, it's really hard to completely forego plastic when it comes to shipping. My mindset is like anything can happen. If a package falls in a puddle, I want to know that it at least has some layers of protection and it's not just like more paper on the outside soaking the inside. So I have 2 sizes of bubble mailers. This one is larger. It's an 11 inch. I think like it's almost 12 inches. And then across, I believe, is 9 inches, but everything will be down below so you can get the exact measurements. Buy some mailers, test your products in them, make sure they fit, right? Or you can measure. I'm not a measuring person. I gotta like shove the thing in there. So I also have the smaller version of that exact same mailer, same color and everything is the exact same light purple, but this one is smaller. This one is an 8x6, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So lengthwise, it's 8 and then across is 6. And so that fits most orders, especially like small sticker orders. I used to carry like a very small bubble mailer for stickers, but I stopped carrying that because it's just too much inventory. I don't want to do that. Now, so that was the different mailers that I carry. Now for boxes, wholesale, most of the time I need a box. Sometimes if I have a small order, I don't need a box, but for the most part, I need a box. So I found these amazing, I call them magic boxes. That's not the name of them, so don't go looking for a magic box on Amazon. But I used to get these from Staples. They stopped carrying the particular sizes that I needed, and I need very particular sizes. So this one is it's an 8x6x2. No, I'm a liar. It's an 8x6x4. But why I call this a magic box is because halfway up the side is actually a very slight indented line. So what they do is they take the box, and this is it at its fullest size. And so all around the perimeter has that faint line. You can just push on it and it'll easily fall forward. You do need to slice the box up until those lines on all four sides, all four corners, and then you just fold it in, and it creates the same box, turns from an 8x6x4, magically transforms into an 8x6x2. So going back to wholesale, sometimes I have a wholesale order where, you know, it's not as tall, it's not as big, maybe it's mostly stickers, but it still needs a box because of the amount, the quantity that they ordered. I can change this into a 2-inch tall box, right? So I absolutely love magic boxes. I have it in 2 sizes. I have the 8x6x4 that turns into a 2-inch, and then I also have its larger sister, and this one is a 12x9x6, but it transforms into, it has 2 lines. So it can either be a 12x9x2, a 12x9x4, or it could stay a 12x9x6. So I actually really like this one because it has the 3 lines. It basically has the lines every 2 inches. I don't know if you can see in there, if you could see the lines, but they're very faint lines. And again, you would only push on it if you needed to make the box smaller. I also keep a very small stockpile of USPS boxes. I still have some regional rate A's. Those are no longer. They discontinued those, I think, in like 20 or 21. But I also have some medium priority boxes, large priority boxes, small priority flat envelopes, and then I also have some of the priority mailers, like bubble mailers, because those are a flat rate. So those are all of the items that I have for shipping. Again, it depends on what you sell. So you have to assess your largest product and then kind of get a little bit creative as to the different ways that you can get it shipped. The best way to ship something is in a bag. If you can ship something in like a not a cello, why am I saying a cello? A bubble mailer or some sort of bag, that is going to be the cheapest way, but it's also not necessarily the most secure way. Back in the day, I used to buy these boxes, but I have recently stopped. And these were like custom boxes that I had made. They're mailer boxes printed on all sides. They were custom. But the company that I was using, they hiked the prices up. Like, it's crazy. So I used to get these for like under $1 each. And this would, again, fit a small direct-to-customer order or a small retail order, but I don't use these anymore because they're too expensive. And so that is how I ship all of my orders. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give me a like on the video. If you like being here, if you like my personality and how I present the information, I would love a subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, if not before, hopefully, okay? And we're like less than 50 people away. So I need your help, okay? If you like being here, definitely subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Thank you for being here.